Everyone lives, everyone dies. Everyone loves, everyone cries. Round the world we're all alive. So why is there war? Why do we fight? There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all need, gotta learn to live together. Peace, alright. Isn't it time, brother, stop dying? Isn't it time, mother, stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace in peace, in peace. Alright, everyone lives, everyone dies. Everyone loves, everyone cries. Around the world we're all alive. So why is there war? Why do we fight? There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Make peace, make peace, peace. Alright, isn't it time, brother, stop dying? Isn't it time, mother, stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace in peace, in peace. Alright, peace, peace together. Peace.
Thank you guys for joining me on Between Two Worlds, Psychic and Mediumship Night, and predictions, because basically I have a lot for you to talk about. Can you guys hear me well in the chat room? I hope you do. It has been a crazy night tonight. I was trying to get into YouTube to do my show an hour ago. Ain't gonna happen. So basically I got a strike. They were going to shut me down because they said I practiced Christianity. Yep. And so basically they're going to, they're telling me that I'm not supposed to talk about, the big C, God, and the G. Yeah, that was their new, they have, here's the code. Their guidelines, it says, let's see, one of the guidelines, their guideline standards. What this policy means that if you are posting content, don't post content on YouTube if it includes any of the following: treatment, misinformation, content that encourages the use of home remedies or prayer or Christian rituals in place of a medical treatment, such as consulting a doctor or going to the hospital. Really? They're so satanic. I'm sorry. I'll tell you, folks. I mean, I don't know how long this is going to last on the why, but I'll say right now, not long. That's all I can say right now. Thank you guys for being part of my chat room. I really appreciate it. I have been doing a lot of major research, and I get a lot, like I said, I have a lot of connections with people that I've been reaching out to, and they get back to me, and from all over, so well, actually it's not going to get much worse, but I will say much worse, not worse for me, worse for them. Okay, I will say much worse for them, because I got so much to talk about, folks. It's going to blow you away, absolutely. And I will say this, let's talk about Canada a little bit, and then I want to bring up Chris Sky, because Chris Sky is a very well-known young fellow who has been trying his darndest. I mean, the media always calls him an anti-masker, right? Well, Chris Sky actually got charged, allegedly threatening to shoot the elected officials. Well, number one, Chris Sky would never say that. And this is simply actually all of the mainstream media, what they're doing right now is they're looking for everything and anything that they can go after Chris. Even Kevin J. Johnston. The CBC accused Kevin J. Johnston, including the Alberta Health Authority, also accused Kevin J. Johnston for threatening their lives. Okay. What's happening is that people like you and I, this is one reason why my wife won't let me go out and physically protest, because I have a mouth that doesn't want to shut up. I would never threaten someone's life, ever in my life, but I stand up for the rights of the people. I know some really great people out there. Big shout out to Odessa Orlowitz, all the ladies that have been doing it since the very beginning, over a year ago. Kevin J. Johnston. Trying to come up with names all of a sudden. There's guys out there. I would like big hands up for you guys. Like in a traditional way, traditional and native way, we always bring our hands up to you to honor you. Thank you guys for fighting so hard for us. Like the thing is that here's what the Toronto police had said. He's not in jail now because he was released, but I'll give you the story. The Toronto police services have confirmed that they placed anti-masker. They're calling him anti-masker. And here's the thing. We don't anti-mask. We couldn't care less you wear a mask or not. You can put your mask on your ass as far as I care. I couldn't care less. Even that can't get rid of that smell. Also known as the Chris Guy of social media, under arrest he was actually arrested May the 20th, which was a Thursday, 2021. Police said that the received reports a man threatening to shoot members of the public and elected officials on Wednesday, May 19th, over that which they opened an investigation. On Wednesday, TPS investigation led them to address in the New York region where they intended to place Sakoshia under arrest. Well, that's his last name, Sakoshia. While their police say that he attempted to enter a vehicle and drive away, Scotia then allegedly drove the car at officers and forcing them to jump out of the way before speeding away from the scene. Well, there was no, number one, there was no crime. Okay? Number one, no crime. We are fed up, all of us are fed up, being pulled over to go home because they're telling us turn around, go home. Well, number one, folks, you do have the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. You also have the Nuremberg Code. And I will advise every one of you out there, please understand. If you're going to travel no matter wherever it is across Canada, because the United States is free. The United States has no laws right now. The laws are being pulled. There's no maskers. There's no lockdowns. There's no 6 feet apart. You could be 20 feet apart. They couldn't care less. They're done. The U.S. is back in almost pretty well more freedom than we do. Okay. Now, I'm in British Columbia, based here. We don't have it as bad as Ontario. We don't have it as bad as Nova Scotia. And I got cousins in Nova Scotia. I got cousins in Manitoba, Ontario, Saskatchewan, like all across Canada. But they've all had it worse than I have. Why? Because I will let you know. Part of that relates to the lockdown, why the lockdown has taken place, folks, and I'll tell you why. I'm talking down this way because I'm talking to the chat room. But what's happening is, to explain this to you, the Ottawa and its Parliament building grounds have all been surrounded by a wall. They've already put the walls up and closed them off. Okay? Now keep that in mind, and I'll explain to you in a few minutes. On Thursday, Scotia turned himself into the TPS 53rd Division. He has been criminally charged with 3 counts of uttering death threats, 1 count of assaulting a police officer with a weapon, and 1 count of dangerous operation of convenience, none of which have been to be proven in court. He is scheduled to appear at College Park Court on Thursday, May the 20th. Scotia has had previous run-ins with the law as of late. Well, gee, we all have, right? So here's what mainstream media does. I mean, this is basically under CP24 news. This is, and then it'll go to CBC. They did the same thing with Kevin J. Johnson, who actually is wanting, what Kevin J. Johnson is in Calgary. He's based out of Calgary. He's originally from Ontario, for as I understand it, but now he moved to Calgary a few years back. And he's actually in a nomination of being a Calgary mayor. Just like Kevin J. Johnson, what Kevin J. Johnson said, none of this masking stuff is accepted anymore. No more 6 feet apart. So what the Alberta Health Authority are doing, the AHA, they told CBC that their lives were threatened by Kevin J. Johnson. Lives were threatened. Like he was threatening to hurt them or kill them, right? CBC called him up. Now, Kevin even recorded the CBC interview because they called him and asked him questions. Kevin straight up, he never threatened anyone's lives, none whatsoever. He just told me, here's how it is. I said, if I become the mayor, you're all going to lose your jobs. That's what he was trying to say. That's not a threat of losing your life. That's a threat that you lose your job if you don't do it correctly. Under the Canadian Charter, you're breaking the law. The AHA, the CBC, all of the MSMs are breaking the Charter law, including the police, the provincial police, if they are told by their bosses to follow through and to hurt and to physically beat up people. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to intimidate people like us. Okay. Very unfortunately, good fortune here in Vancouver, or the BC region, I'll say Vancouver, we've had many protests, but most of these protests are for our freedom. That's what it really is about. It's freedom. We couldn't, like I said, couldn't care less if it's your masks, couldn't care less if 6 feet apart. Freedom to go wherever you want and still under your charter. Okay. So what Chris Guy is trying to do, Chris has never offered to threaten anyone's life, to hurt anyone physically, but if you threaten his life, he will defend himself. But what's happening is that some of these police officers are lying through their teeth because they think they're going to be, oh, I am the hero here. We got a criminal. He doesn't want to wear a mask. He's a protester. Oh, we better lock him up because he's a criminal. Guess what, folks? Those cops that did all this reporting, they're done. You're gone. You're history. Because once this whole thing comes around in a circle where the true leaders are, they will come and get you for crimes against humanity. When you broke the law, you broke the criminal code, they're coming for you. That's not a threat from me. I'm just telling you, watch your steps, because there is a special group of people that are watching you guys very closely. Okay, I'm telling you, they're watching you very closely. And if you want to keep on breaking the law, you represent the officers, you represent any kind of health authority, they're coming for you. And I'll tell you why. Dr. Bonnie here in BC decided to pass a little rule. Now, this is actually listed under CKNW. CKNW here in British Columbia, Vancouver, should know better than this. But they decided to report it because they're told to report it. Okay? So the CKNW reported Dr. Bonnie Henry clarified Thursday night that any youth between the ages of 12 and 17 does not need a parental consent to get the COVID vaccine. 12 and 17. It says BC youth who want COVID-19 vaccine do not need parental consent. Bonnie Henry, you're breaking the law. You just broke the law. You just broke the law. You're telling the parents they don't need no parental consent. Number one, you're not the officer of a law. You are under no federal law. You are nothing. You are a useless waste of walking energy. Go back home to your winery and drink your life away. Because that's exactly what you do. She owns a winery, folks. At Easter, she decided to go and party it up with 150 of her friends. Nobody's wearing masks. Private island, right? But she tells everybody else to lock down. Oh no, you can't go anywhere. And she takes a private helicopter, goes back home. I'm telling you, these are the things that people are, these idiots are getting away with, right? So like I said, I have connections, people who I know are going to come and get you. So you think you're going to get these kids to believe you? Oh, I don't have to listen to you, Mom. I'm 12 years old. I can go get the needle anytime I want to. Guess what, Mom? I can go do anything I want. You can't tell me what to do. Guess what, Mom? I'm going to go and get some beer because Bonnie Henry said so. Mom, go ahead. You can't stop me. That's basically what Bonnie Henry's doing. They're telling the whole country, the whole BC province, that she herself personally is given parental consent, and the parents have no say in this. Guess what, Bonnie Henry? It's called the Nuremberg Code. You just started something. You just started a German war. You represent you are representing now a Second World War. You are actually starting. You represent in a very negative way. You how do you use that word? There's actually a name for this now. I remember hearing about this years ago. If you think about, I'm not going to compare you to Hitler because you have no connection to Hitler. But I will say this to you, which you may not know, Bonnie Henry. There is someone in the family, not related to you, but related to Trudeau, that is the granddaughter of Hitler, and she's gone. That is Trudeau's wife. She's gone. Okay. I'm talking about. Okay. Gitmo. She's gone. Because she's nothing but trouble. Now, I'm not angry, but it gets frustrating. I'm watching these people play these roles. I mean, I remember A lot of my friends are saying to me, Derrick, this is just a play. This is just a movie. Go along with it. Let them do their own thing. You know what? I want to let them, but I'm still going to say something because I'm part of this as well. And because myself, I mean, most of the time, uh, I mean, I'm sure the why here is going to get really upset. They say, well, we watched your show. We didn't like what you talked about. We may shut you down. Well, if you do, you do. I got many, many other tubers to go to. I mean, I tried to start an hour earlier, but they went, no, you can't do this. Really? I just got started. No, because they realized that I guess I pose as a threat. I don't know what it is, but maybe because they don't like the way I'm say things, what I'm doing, but I'm trying to in one way be careful. I'm just seeing how far I can get into this. But the thing is that I got kicked out of Facebook for speaking my mind. And Facebook didn't like it. Over me speaking up for the veterans. Because the veterans have the rights of being recognized as who they are. There are so many veterans now that want to join a special forces. When they heard about the special forces group that are happening right now, even they want to join just to somehow feel active, because they're sick and tired. Or some of these guys, some of these veterans are living in the streets. They have nowhere to go. They don't have a place to live because of all this going on right now for over a year and a half. And they want to go back. And when I said that before, Facebook kicked me out. They said, you can't say that. You know why? Because it poses a threat to Facebook. I stand behind the veterans because my father served and my uncle served. My uncle was a helicopter pilot. My dad served as infantry. These two served in Manitoba. My father was from Camp Shiloh. My uncle was up in Portsmouth Prairie. So I knew what it was like to grow up in this. I've been around the military. I was in a way a military kid growing up since I was 1 year old. I got a letter. I got my mom's letter that my father wrote to her. And my father was stationed on the army barracks, and my father was not allowed to leave the army barracks, and so he's writing to my mom and asked my mom how I was doing. I just turned 1. Right? That's 65 years ago. So my father was always wanting to find out how I'm doing, and because he was very proud of the fact that he's a father. He did this because he wanted to. He cared. He served his country. And so did my uncle. And many more people that I've known through the years. And through the years in my work, I work in the Indigenous community, and whenever I go to powwows, I was given the rights. Now, you guys will not know this at all because I talk about this through another radio show. But because of my Indigenous background, I do powwows, and I work with the veterans and good friends of mine, the late Bob Kelly, and 3 other veterans trained me, taught me that they wanted to give me the responsibility because my father served. They wanted to ask me if I want the responsibility to take care of the flags. So as a babysitter of their flags. So whenever there's a grand entry, then I would bring the flags with me, and then I'll call in all the veterans that were on location and to walk in with the grand entry to carry the flags. That was my job. Did it for 20 years. I take great pride in it. I still have those flags. But there's one flag that no longer will be carried into the grand entry. That's the UN flag. Because the UN disrespected all the citizens of the world. And so that flag is going to be burned. And it will be discarded. In respect of all those that were lost their lives during this sea time. Because we're still in the middle of a war of our own. like I said, I have there are friends everywhere that I'm connected with, and they send me messages to say, let me know what to expect. Um, you'll actually, there is a photograph. I want to show this to you guys. I'm going to take this off me. I'm going to show you what it looks like. This is the Parliament building. So the Parliament building got a new fence for $6.6 million. Wonder what they're afraid of or are participating. Went up around Parliament Canada. Gee, I wonder who that be. Guess who's stuck behind the bars? Hang on, guys. I wanted to show you that part. So that is done the same way as what happened to in the States in DC when there's a fence put around the White House. It's been done the same way. Now, why is that fence around? It's not to keep Mr. T out. It's to keep him in. Same thing. Now, Mr. J in the States is to keep him out. So, Mr. T, JT, our Prime Minister, is history as well. He's gone. He's gone. Gitmo. So, like I said, so many things are going to be shown and revealed. I will let you guys know between the end of May to August. Expect so many things are going to come in. That will be shared with you. A lot of exposure of truth. You're not going to believe it. For you, you'll be in shock. But it will make you open your eyes more and understand, there's no longer anything called in this world to awoken or be awakened. If you're not awakened by now, then you're really asleep. Now, let's talk about something else. What people put in their arms. People lined up for that. I can't even say those words. But I'll say this to you right now. Those who have actually had it done are going to be very sick in the next little while. Women today, I've been hearing stories of women having problems now, monthly issues. But it's not happening properly. It's happening too much. So they're getting sicker. It's affecting everyone. It's affecting everybody in the world. And people are noticing there's a lot of bad stuff going on. So I feel bad for those people. I mean, yes, I know that it's been like going on for a month or a year and a half that the mainstream media, the MSM, has been trying to encourage people to take the shot. And they'll say, well, you'll do us proud if you do the shot. Well, guess what, guys? If you do that shot, you're not going to be here long. And you try, yeah. And the magnet stuck to my daughter's arm. Wow. You know why? I'll tell you why the magnet stuck to her arm, because there's nanobites in there. That's metal. And it's actually, those are the nanobites are actually genetically designed tracers. Now, wherever your daughter goes, for example, they'll know where she's at. The company that, whether it's no matter what name brand of the business is, it actually, they're all the same. It's all the same solution, but just different name brands. And some are even worse than others. But um, what you have, what your daughter has in her arm is nanobites, and it's a metallic nanobite, and it you don't even need a telephone to take with you at work or to go to shopping or whatever. Leave your telephone at home, and they'll know exactly where you are because they put that in your arm. They're trackers, okay, and it's got your code in it. Because why do you think they'll put a number on those markings and say, okay, her name is this, and we'll put the number right next to that, and it goes into the data. So as soon as they click on the type it in, boom, they just activated what's in your arm. Now that person's being traced. They know exactly where she's at. That's why when you put the magnet on the arm, because that's metal, it's pulling it to the surface. It looks like long giant worms, but they're actually they're specifically made by a scientific group that Mr. B. Gates built, or actually designed, or had an order for it to design. That was also suggested to the CIA, and they went along with it. Right? Yes, it is the mark of that, Catherine. It's exactly, because basically, I mean, it's not as much the first one that's going to cause the problem. It's the second shot that you take. It's the worst of it all. But I will talk about the word med beds. They're coming out soon, right after the reinauguration in August. And when the reinauguration is done, those med beds, actually the med beds are actually being distributed all across the world right now, but they'll start being used by the people, which are the elderly, and the children will be the first to line up to have these done on the to be cured on the med beds this time. I will say that once, that word cured. And it'll be all free. It's not going to cost anything. So they're coming out. I've got photographs of those med beds, and just blow me away. That's like I said before earlier. I know what they look like. I used one back in 2003, years and years ago, when they had me on the ship. So I pretty well got an idea what it looks like. And when I saw them, I was so excited and went, finally, But we had to wait for it, because there are some really bad people out there that didn't want those med beds out distributed to you folks. They wanted you to suffer, because that's exactly what they wanted to do, was to depopulate the world. That was their goal. Okay. I will talk about our income. Our finances are going to be a lot different than it used to be. Bitcoin will be one of the biggest money maker in the world for all of us. Gold, silver, and also, folks, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a heads up. And this is what Mr. Trump advised everyone to do, is to invest in the name Kodak. Okay, Kodak, like cameras, Kodak. Invest in that share, because that is the company that's actually is going to manufacture the med beds. Okay, guaranteed, it's worth your time. Okay. Yeah, well, number one, that Doug Ford that's begging people on TV. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's talk about Doug Ford. That's not the real Doug Ford, by the way. The real Doug Ford is not there. That's a different Doug Ford. I notice his face is different. He looks too smooth. Okay, this Doug Ford was replaced. This is a new one. Different Doug Ford, folks. Not the same one. So you're going to be in shock when you'll understand. There are some people like to impersonate someone, because if you look at the video today, when I saw the video today, I went, that's not him. There's no way. He didn't look like that. So that's what they do. When someone can't do their job anymore, they replace them. This is what the deep state does. They'll replace them with an actor. Okay. So, and also too, that was a hologram. So you have to be very careful what you see on TV. I tell people, don't believe everything you see in the MSM, because MSM is just, they'll lie through their teeth. And you know what? Here's one thing gets me. The MSM's been doing this for a long time. And they're paid to do it because they're afraid to lose their jobs. So they got to follow through on it. I mean, I feel bad for a lot of the guys, because I remember some of them actually are very truthful. They want to be truthful, but they're told they have to lie or they don't have a job. Some have actually quit. I just finished having a board meeting with my directors, because I'm actually from a radio station myself, but our station are not like the other corporate companies. We have a voice, so we speak up for ourselves. Okay, Dolores says, I watched a video on Telegram about it changes your brain so you can do everything they want you to do. Exactly. What happens is, let me explain this part to you, and this is what I wanted to say. When they put the jab in you, it changes your DNA. And the second shot is to go to your pineal gland up here, your brain, and it takes out your smile. You have no more expression. It removes everything that you have an area in your brain that has that 5% of fun, enjoyment, the laughter in you. That's what it is. Once that goes inside and goes to your brain, that's it. It's like having dementia with no humor. That's what it does. It can do major damage. So what you have heard, what you've seen is true. That's what it does. This is why you're supposed to be like a zombie. That's why they call it the zombie. Why do you think they've had so many TV shows? Why do you think they have a TV series about zombies, and it kept on rolling for so many years as a TV series, and people learning how to fight those zombies and battle them? Because that's what this government's doing, is making us act like zombies, so they can actually remove us, depopulate us. Okay. And what? You got near my dog that's tied up outside. The dog came to be loved and chased her with the tire iron for nothing. Oh, must be another story. Sorry, guys. I was reading something here like tire iron. Who got chased with a tire iron? That's funny, Loris. So, to let you guys know, Chris Guy got out of jail. He was released. And he was released with, who was the person that helped him get released? Let's see. I have it here. Or do I have it here? Yes, I did talk about it earlier. Yeah. Anyways, Chris Guy was released, but he also had the help of another lawyer to get him out, which is, they already know the end results, what was going to happen. And yeah, but Chris did get free. He's out on bail. He got his freedom. And the same with Kevin J. Johnson. They're going to try and keep Kevin J. Johnson in jail, in prison, until the election was over. That was CBC's goal. That we're going to try and keep him out of the way. Yeah. So they were going to keep him out of the way from being part of the election because Kevin was getting too many votes already. So far, people are saying we're going to vote for you, we're going to vote for you, vote for you, because apparently this mayor in Calgary is evil. Okay, and so is the premier Kenny. Okay, Jason Kenney, and those two are collaborators together. They're the ones that are just nothing but bad guys. And Kenny he's a billionaire. He can afford to do all the lying. So I mean, number one, too, I warn all these politicians: you play the game of being the bad guy. There's a special forces that are coming to get you too. You guys are being scooped up. You're taken. You're gone. I'm just going to give you all the warning because you only have just a few weeks to go. You better fix it or you're done. I'm just smiling. I'm just smiling because you're gone. That's it. Okay. So they are saying that Rob Carbone has something to do with it. He's lucky he is alive and screamed at him and he changed. Don't mean to interrupt right there. Yeah, no, Doris, that's fine. I don't mind. Yeah. And also the same thing, the Premier of Ontario, um, the Mayor of Ontario. Oh man, like you got some really bad people up there. Absolutely. I mean, you seldom hear. Oh, Manitoba is also Premier of Manitoba. He's an idiot too. I'm sorry, but he's also going to be probably taken out away. Again, special forces take care of it. There are going to be some people taken away for crimes against humanity. Quite a few politicians. Fortunately, we haven't heard too much on our BC region. We are not really as much manipulated, except the only person that's manipulating is Bonnie Henry. That's it. Anybody else, our premier is not doing too much. He's sitting back going like, not my crap. I'll just relay some information, but I'm not gonna get involved here. He knows he's not dumb. Um, the mayor of Vancouver, seldom ever hear from him. So, but again, he's the one that tells the police to stand down, don't get involved. Anytime there's any kind of protest, they let us protest, but they strongly support us. If anybody tries to cause trouble with us, even protesting ourselves on the streets to protect our freedom, the Vancouver police, they walk with us, they stand with us, they are not fighting us. If anybody tries to cause trouble, they scoop the bad guy away, the one that wants to cause trouble. They just say, "You're out of here," so they get him. So, thing is that um, there's a few more that, I will say this: JT will be the very first PM to be executed in Canada, from Canada. Okay, the very first. We never had anything like that ever happen in our country. So, besides Louis Riel, but Louis Riel actually also was a politician too, but he would be, since Louis Riel's execution, and that was also another one that Riel did not do. That was caused by John A. Macdonald, the first Prime Minister of Canada. He also was evil as all can be. He should have been executed himself, but he got away with murder. And I always tell people there's God's law and there's man's law. Macdonald found out after. But Mr. JT will gonna Mr. Mr. JT is gonna have his little day gone. So he'll be the second that will be taken out from his country. And what can I say? So I've been reading so much new stuff. Well, let's put it this way: there's new releases that are actually old releases. I've already seen them 6 months or so ago. They're saying there are people saying this is all new. No, you're just repeating it, which is fine. I love to see the repeats, that you guys are on top of this. It's important. We all need to be on top of what's going on in the world, right, or in the country. Now, here's a cool part, the best part of it all. Okay. Now, the Pope, you guys know who the Pope is, and his little people, they're gone, flown away. Keep hitting my mic. They're flown away. They're out of here. Underground, okay, under the building, there's a road, underground tunnel that goes all the way down to Israel. 165 miles of it is bars of gold. And they all got picked up. And they were flown back to the United States. And they're placed inside the United States into the vaults. And these will, after the inauguration, these will be distributed amongst everyone in the world. There was found $32.5 quadrillion in gold. That will be distributed amongst everyone across the world, not just the United States, everyone across the world. We're all going to have shares. And that's been promised. We're all going to have shares because there's more than enough gold for everyone to live, as well as the homeless. They will also be given that as well. The homeless will have theirs. Anybody who's elderly, who's a pensioner, anybody who doesn't have anything is going to be given that as well. There will seldom ever be anybody who's ever poor. Our lives are coming back together again for the next 1,000 years, and we're going to have all what's given to us, what we should have had throughout our lives for over 100 years, even more than 100 years ago. None of us should ever have struggled for 400 or 500 years when we traveled, but there have been people like the Bilderbergs, the Rothschilds, okay, Rockefellers. They're the ones that were dumb-downing us because they controlled our countries, right? For example, the Rothschilds, they were running our country in Canada. They have been running our country. The Queen is just a figurehead, right? So she had nothing to do with any of this at all. They run the country. They tell even JT what to do, but not anymore. That's been taken care of too. It's interesting how so many countries have been bought, or countries that became countries have been purchased by these multi-billionaires, and somehow they knew how to do it. And that's where people say, well, how come they got so rich? They just be there at the right place at the right time, but they already knew, right? So the thing is that we are here for a reason. And I get a kick at Dolores saying, is Trump coming back before 2024? Trump is already here. He's actually still the president of the United States. He's still the president of the United States, not Joe. Sorry, guys. Joe has never been sworn in properly. Joe Biden swore in as a satanic president. He actually swore on a satanic Bible. And this is not the real Joe, by the way, because the real Joe passed away over a year and a half ago. He was actually executed for crimes against humanity. Okay? Now you guys know. Trump is still your president, and always has been. Anybody who's American, he has always been your president. But he's your 45th president, but he'll be stepping down as the 45th and re-inaugurated as the 19th president of the new republic in August. A new republic means no longer a corporate country controlled. It will be under a new republic, as in you are United States. You're no longer under a corporation. So what Trump is doing is the same thing what Abraham Lincoln had done. He also was re-inaugurated. So that's what Trump is doing. Trump is the one that's been saving everybody here from all over the world. He's doing his darndest. He was given the gift from Spirit. He's been given the gift from God, from many higher ups. He was given. He is the new David, and he's the one has been given this authority, and he has special forces that asked him to participate as the president of the United States back in 2016. Let's put it this way: if the military did not ask Trump to be the president of the United States, you'd be in a third world war right now, a physical third world war between Russia and China, and a lot of lives wasted. because the person that would have won would have been Hillary Clinton. She thought she was going to win, but she didn't because Trump trumped her. Didn't cheat his way in. He just trumped her because everybody thought that they thought, oh, just give a chance, see what happens. And when he announced his presidency, everybody's going, yeah, right, it's going to last that long. He got the job done, and he got people more jobs. If you think about it, how many presidents really got you guys jobs? Trump. He's the only one besides John F. Kennedy and Ronald Reagan. But the rest of them never got you jobs. They made sure that you got everything, and he was making sure that you got what you needed. And there was no racism involved. But because the Democrats and liberals wanted to use the word racism, they brought that word up to make it, a fight and a war. And let's call Mr. Trump the bad guy, and we'll make us try and pretend that we're the good guys. It was the reverse, right? So you're going to see the 10 days of darkness come very soon. It's still repeated, and it will be. But it'll be announced when it does get announced, and you will be in shock when you do see it. Be prepared for this, folks. All the internet and cable will go down, and then all of our televisions will come back up again, like all their screens, but the screens will be all different and upgraded, but different. And then you have 3 days of 8 hours of executions, trials and executions for 3 days. 8 hours and of trials. They'll be played 3 times a day for 3 days. These are people that actually were sentenced to crimes against humanity. So it's bigger than you think. But you're going to be in shock. It's going to shock you. You're not going to expect it. It's going to be hit like out of the left field. Some will serve life. Some will be either executed, one or the other. But you'll find out what their charges are. But again, we are getting our lives back. We're having our real, true freedom. Okay? What I'm here, where I am right now, it won't be here. I'm not saying me, but some of these some of these social networks, the newer ones, like these ones here, may not be here. They've probably been taken down because if they're part of the bad guys, they'll be taken down. But there are other great social networks that have nothing to do with any of this. No corruption, right? So, yeah, Keith says I'm buying the bus soon. Good for you, Keith. Get that bus and go. But yeah, there has been a lot of interesting stories. What's going on in Canada? Not many. Like basically, they said Chris Guy was bailed out, but Mr. Zishan Ahmed, who earlier this evening breached the Section 136 of the Courts of Justice Act by posting photographs of the virtual hearing on social media. Mr. Ahmed's acting as Chris Sokashia's surety. So basically, someone video recorded the lies that the police had stated, and that's how he got out. So it's going to go to court. So Chris will win his case. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting on that part. There is also someone of great importance that will be coming forward. He'll be revealing himself soon. And he's been trying to reveal himself to you guys for so long. Everybody's going like, oh, I don't believe it. He's not there. No, he must be dead. No, he's dead. No, he's alive. No, there's no way. He's been gone away that long. No way. Oh, I'm just chuckling under my breath, folks. I mean, you guys don't realize how many people you thought were gone because you were told that they were gone. And I get a kick at a lot of the psychics and mediums that used to try to make contact with their spirit after they're gone, right? Say, oh, well, in spirit, yeah, he's here. I saw him here. Yeah, he's here. His presence is here. Yeah, we're talking to him right now. I thought, How can you be talking to him when he's actually living in another country and he's pretending to be somebody else until the bad guys are taken care of and gone? Then he will reveal himself in the future. Because there have been people for years, regular common people, that actually have a different identity, and yet some people still, oh no, he's dead, he's got to be dead. Well, number one, when you guys do, like, I work as a, like I said, work as like a medium. I know I can talk to people who are passed away, but you can talk to someone's consciousness. Say for example, if Catherine or Dolores or Terry or Keith or anyone here that's living in the chat room, right? And you could pretend that you're gone, right? You can pretend you're dead. Then you made people believe that you're dead. Okay. So, and you're saying you're famous. And so all the psychics come out of the blue and they go, okay, we're going to make contact with Keith or Catherine or make contact with Terry or, in their spirit and see what they're doing. And that person's able to make contact with them. Amazing. Well, that's true, folks. We can contact your consciousness when you're alive. Why do you think people have dreams about someone? Okay. Why do people have dreams about someone when you already know they're alive? Like, I've had people have dreams about me, not in a bad way or a good way, but I mean, I'm saying dreams about me. They'll say, well, I saw you in a dream, you told me something, and so I thought I better give you a call. Oh, okay, good. And then they'll look at me and they'll say, aren't you worried about that, or does that bother you? No, I know what happens. My consciousness went to your consciousness and gave you a message, but it took form of who I am, and that's exactly what happens. Our body does leave the physicality, but not the consciousness. The consciousness still is a residual energy. It's still in the ether. Okay? And so basically, when it's in the ether, it can travel, astral travel continuously if the consciousness decides to stay. Why do you think in my studio that some people say, oh, I see a white light go this way or an orb go that way in the studio? Is because that's how it works. Their consciousness, or their little consciousness energy, they're present there because they like to be in the room. They love the energy, like to dance, skip, fly through. They could be just visiting. I may not know who they are, but that's exactly what happens. They just come right through and that's it. Right? So the thing is that some of you may not know or do know, but when people say Elvis has left the building, oh, he's going to make a big return. Oh, I'm waiting for the inauguration, and so is Michael Jackson. I'm waiting for that inauguration for both those two, because they're actually both those two right now are doing. They're putting together a musical for all you folks out there. So it's going to be just cool. Okay, so Catherine's asking, I wonder where I go when I sleep because I don't dream or don't remember anything. Well, what happens, Catherine, is through all my research through the years, I've had people say to me a lot of times, they say, I don't dream. Well, that's normal. What the dream does actually is that there are people that may have experienced something traumatic when they were a kid, right? And if they experience something dramatic when you're a kid, then they have a hard time wanting to see the dreams, because you could have had a nightmare once when you're a child, something that really scared you. Went, no, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to dream about this anymore. So you become frightened. And anytime that you feel that there's a consciousness energy or something that's approaching a dream, you lock it out. Okay. It's just a fear-based conscious system that we create. Like, anybody says to me, I don't dream. Yes, you all do. Everyone dreams. Some people don't want to remember their dream. They'll just wipe it away. Or they think, oh, it's just my thinking, oh, I'm just thinking of it. So that's exactly what happens. People just, I'm just thinking about it, and then they just want to forget about it and walk away. Um, Having PTSD from home invasion. No, that wouldn't have anything to do with your dreams either. No. I'm not tired. I'm just going to just bringing in more energy. Um, I can feel your energy, Catherine, just by looking at your energy. Just your name makes me like I want to get wipe out. Um, when you have PTSD from like if knowing you had you must have had something really dramatic physically happen to you, which I understand. Um, there are 3 times I've had a gun put to my head and someone says it's going to blow my head off. So I should have had PTSD myself. I had a Luger put to my head and the guy says I'm going to pull the trigger and take you out. And I said, go ahead. And then my wife jumped into the room and chased him down. My wife did it. And we're Canadian. So, and the guy himself who had the gun on me actually was I guess to say he was a drug user, but he was using um, raw. What do you call them? Oh, I don't talk about anymore. I guess to say the drugs used to put to make your arms really big, right? I forgot what it's called because I'm not around anymore. But because you don't hear that word anymore. When people aren't talking about it anymore, they don't bother with it. They step away. But PTSD can be you can do it yourself. I mean, if you take this as a physical traumatic attack, you can accept it as a PTSD or steroids. Thank you very much, Catherine. Steroids. Yes, that's what it is. But this guy was on steroids and crack or something like that. No, sorry, steroids and cocaine. He was doing both at the same time, and I guess he just went out of it and he went on me. What happened was he was beating up his girlfriend, uh, he was like he's 225, 230, big, strong, big, bulky guy, and I guess him and his girlfriend had an argument, or he started the argument. And she's a tiny little thing. He grabbed her by her face and rammed her back of her head into the drywall and put a hole in the drywall with her head in it. She went to the ground, she fell to the floor, and then she crawled to the door, opened it, trying to get out, and she yelled out my name because I was just downstairs. Derrick, I need your help. Help me. Help me, Derrick. And I come running upstairs, and here, next thing you know, he's grabbing her and about to do more beatings on her, and I took him down. We struggled, right? I had him up, and I clobbered him. He went to the side table of the side table, or I guess next to the bed, pull out a Luger right to my head like that, right? Now, if that Luger wasn't there, I would have dropped the guy down. And the reason why I was like, I know how to do it because my dad taught me how to self-defense, right? I learned all from my father. So I knew how to take a guy down pretty quick. Just a few fingers bend you down, you're done. That you're not going anywhere. But he didn't like it because he was bigger than I was, but he couldn't figure how I got him down. So you don't always have to be the biggest guy in the world to think that you can take any little guy down. And I've seen small guys take big guys down. My sister did too. My sister is 110 pounds. She took a guy that was 250 down. Just bent his fingers down to the floor. Learned from my dad. He's poking my sister. Down he went. Ah! And she says, and you're going to say, what? So, my sister took no crap from no guy who wants to be real mean with her. That's the way she is. But anyways, those are the younger years, in her 20s. But the thing is that we all go through something traumatic that we may not accept or have difficulty dealing with. And now you had a pillowcase over your head. Wow. Yeah, so you didn't even know what was going to happen. I can't get an yeah, I don't blame you, Catherine. I really don't. Now when I understand what you mean, when you put a mask on your face, is like being a pillowcase. Yes, I can't wear a pillow. I can't wear I can't wear a pillowcase over my face. I can't wear a mask over my face either. I have difficulty with that. I can wear an oxygen mask when I'm doing my woodwork, but I can't use a common regular mask because, well, number one, there's other paper masks I break out here all over my face. There's something in it that makes my skin go crazy, so I don't bother even using those anymore. But I became exempt, so I use my max exemption card to get in. Some stores will say, "No, you can't come in here if you're exempt." And I'm going like, "Really? You really want to go that far? You want to go that far?" Okay. So I said, "Well, let's call the cops and see what happens." They said, "Well, no, we'll serve you by the side of the street." No, you're not going to serve me by the side of the street. That's calling me. You're basically treating me like as if I'm the disease carrier. And I keep telling him, I said, it said the lady that was actually the boss there, I said, "Did you get your vax?" She goes, "Yes." "I don't want to go in your store now." Which what are you talking about? I would never want to come into your store now. Not because I'm not wearing a mask, because now you got vaxxed. Now you're the one who's the carrier. Oh boy, that ever get her upset. She goes, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Because they put the bad stuff inside that needle. You're now officially the carrier. You didn't even know that, did you? Because that's why. Why do you think they were pushing people to get this done? It had nothing to do with a cure." And boom, got them going, right? So, yeah, that's what they do. But anyways, yeah, I like having fun with people, or not offbeat people, but have fun with people and just let them know how you feel. I don't like to make a big deal about attacking people or yelling at them and screaming. It's not worth it. You don't want to waste your time on them and try to, if you want to explain something and you want to talk about, the charter rights, you want to talk about the Nuremberg Code, you want to talk about things that's going on in the community, or if you're American, let them know what's going on across the border. That's fine. Just share the stories, but you can make it where you can have a civil conversation, and instead of having to say, like you're sick. Like I've had some people who were manically crazy 6 feet apart, like, "Get away from me! Don't even look at me! You're breathing on me!" Like, really? You're in the sky, the air is clean, and you got this mask on. I remember going in shopping some stores. I've seen 3 masks on one person's face, sunglasses, helmet, the whole 9 yards. Like literally, this person was all covered up with duct tape and you name it, hazmat suits, shopping. That either those are the crazy people, or they've taken it that far, being so afraid of what you're convinced to believe, right? So, yeah. Now there have been so many things happening today, or I could say across the world. I know in Ireland has had a lockdown. The whole country is in lockdown right now. No, sorry, not lockdown. Take it back. They went into blackout. Um, all of Ireland, and that was supposed to be for the 10 days, I understand. And then also Taiwan. So it's the beginning. All this is their beginning, is now starting to spin. Now I could be wrong about that, but this is basically how I understood reading the columns, that Ireland already started, and they took the hardest, next to Australia. So, yeah, you saw Kevin live last night. Kevin who? So, yeah. Okay. Anyways, um, oh, Kevin J. Johnson, you mean? Yeah, no, he was live. When he got up, boy, he told a story. Um, it's possible. It's possible. Now it could be either in the U.S. or Canada. Yeah. Um, we'll see what happens, which one. Now, we will be prepared. I mean, we will be notified ahead of time what to expect and what to be prepared for. But I do tell people this: make sure you have plenty of cash on the side, lots of flashlights and candles, an extra amount of food for about 10 days, just or at least 2 weeks worth. Mostly canned foods. And if if you do have freezers, it's possible that you may have to have an extra generator on hand, and by some chance you need to keep your freezers going with the generator, or just don't open your freezer at all. And it is good for almost a week. And I'm sure everyone knows that your freezer will not thaw itself out if you keep the freezer closed. But once you open it up, the warm air comes in. So make sure if you're not going to wanting to worry about that sort of thing, it's always good to have a generator aside. So then if by some chance it does shut down, put a generator on your freezer. That's the most important part. Or if you have solar panels and your solar panels are taking care of all that, then you won't have to worry about power going out, because there are going to be solar panels around that people will be using specifically that are dry docking. So you won't have to worry about any of that at all, right? Because solar panels will not go out. That's solar. They can't knock that out. So everyone's going to be different. A friend of mine who actually did serve in the military in the Navy, he's got solar powers, so he says he's all ready to go. If anything ever goes out, turn on the solar power. He's done. He's okay, right? He said the only thing is you're not going to have internet. I said, yeah, make sure you got plenty of movies to watch, lots of romances with your wife. He's going, oh, okay. So yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, there's people actually in the chat room here talking to me from here down and here. She says, "Oh my God, I had a huge argument with my cousin who was getting his daughter, who's the same age as another person, vaccinated next week. I did my best to try and talk him out of it. I said, if I'm right, can't just wait a year. Can't you just wait a year? That's basically what's going to happen. Some people are actually making comments, and I go to different pages and see this. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you ever want to find me, folks, I'm I'm using other pages. I'm doing some pre-records, and I'm putting them all up into BitChute, and I'm working on doing Rumble, as well as my other one I'm working on right now is just got to the company's page. Where are you? Gab, Gab. So I'll be putting that on that one. Working on doing other places that are, that you don't get bothered. But I find Gab's kind of like weird. And then there's another one here that someone sent me to. They told me there's another one that's like YouTube. And it's called, what is it called? Who are you going to call? Whoop. Killed it. You got that bang in your ear. Oh, yes. I want to tell this to you guys. The clinical nurses are crying for help for the Canadians. Now, you want to know about the clinical nurses, folks, go on Vimeo, Vimeo, and you type in the word clinical nurses cry for help for Canadians, and you need to see that video. It's going to make you pretty upset what's going on, because what the government's trying to do right now is it's more games, absolute crazy, more games. What else we got here? Okay, coming up, this is actually the 20th now today. So as of today is the end of Trump's executive orders. So today is the date. This is the end of his executive orders. But the 21st, wait to see the 21st. Something's going to happen, folks. Tomorrow. It's going to blow you away. Okay, May the 21st. But May the 20th, today, where I'm on, this is the end of Donald Trump's executive order. August the 1st is the declass. They're declassing everything. August the 8th is GESARA. That's the NESARA. Oh, sorry, the GESARA blockchain election. Okay. Trump and NESARA is activated. Military intelligence only. Mass arrest. Deep state globalists. Biden taken out. Uncensored news. Military tribunals. They'll be talking about. So there's a variety of things. But again, It's something we all, whether, and the thing is that, folks, I want to say this, is that whether, um, whether, this company takes me out, just whatever I'm going to say the recording of it anyways, myself, and I'll just pass it on to another page. But the thing is that this is what we're trying to do. We want to keep on keeping it live. Try and understand. Don't lose faith in Trump. I mean, number one, he's doing his damnedest. Like, really doing, not damnedest, darndest. He's doing his darndest to help everyone. And if he's delayed, there's a reason for it. It has nothing to do with him personally. There's a reason for it. So it means if it's a delay, that means there's more bad people out there that they have to confront, right? So that's what happens. Other than that, I would love to hear from you guys. If you guys want to phone in the show, I'll give you the phone number here. If you want to call in for a reading or you name it, ask a question. 360-566-2875. And that's where I am. Oh, yes. UFO sighting in Canada. Area code 360. 306.
How you doing?
Good.
Hey, okay, first question.
Yes.
Should I hold off on the bus until after this is done?
Yeah, hold off on the bus until the money comes your way, and then you can afford the bus or get a brand new one.
I don't need a brand new one. I just the one I'm looking at is an 06.
Yeah.
And it's in good shape. Got nice bunks in it.
Yeah.
But then I gotta put the bathroom in and the shower. But I was thinking waiting until all the stuff hits the fan and then going for it.
Well, it's a choice of your own. I think it's up to you if you want to get the bus at any time you want to. There's nothing that's stopping you from doing it.
Well, okay.
That'll give you an opportunity. Once you get the bus
thought
together,
next week.
once you get the bus, you can go get it all already prepared to go. You can go down there and see your son.
Yeah, up there.
Yeah, up there.
Anyway,
I would say down there. We're up there.
well, anyway, yeah, I gotta go see him. He's doing a lot better,
Yeah.
His business has picked up quite a bit. So
What did I tell you? I said he'll be
well,
fine.
you told me that.
Yeah.
And so since his business picked up, he doesn't really know me anymore. But he's worried. He makes that phone call, hey, Dad,
Yeah.
I might need your help.
Yeah.
Could you help me? Well, yeah, I could help you, but,
Dad? What dad do I have? Do I have a dad?
Yeah, so I guess he makes that call, so that's all right.
Yeah, well, that's what I always do. Here's one thing I always tell the kids or tell people, my listeners or viewers. I always say that anytime a child will always borrow money from their parents for years and years and years, they'll say, oh, I'll pay you back, and pay you back. And the kids don't pay your parents back. But by the end, when it comes to the time when the parents pass away, guess who's got to pay for the funeral?
Yeah, that won't be much of a funeral for me.
No, but really, it costs thousands of dollars to cost almost $10,000 to actually have a funeral service. So it means by the time
it won't be a funeral, it'll just be a planting.
A planting.
You know what I paid for what my wife and I paid for our plots?
No.
$5 a piece. Out in the country.
Out in the country.
in a little country graveyard.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my sister's buried there. My nephew's buried there. Her relatives are buried there. So
you get a $5 plot and a $10,000 coffin.
I'll be burnt. I'm going to be fried. But anyway, yeah, okay. So either either or. I can go either or with the bus or not with the bus.
Yeah, either or.
Everything is like, I get pretty worried, you know, like of buying something big. But I'm thinking that it would be a good buy. Nice bus.
Yeah.
Put some cameras on it. Run around the country taking pictures.
Yeah.
And when everything settles in, I'll have enough money to travel a little bit, and then I can decide what I want to do after that.
There you go. It's all already set for you. You already made a plan.
Yeah. But I'm just worried my plan doesn't come together.
Oh,
Anyway,
I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll figure it all out.
Anyway, thanks, Derrick. We'll see you later. And
No
be
problem.
Good.
Okay, talk to them, my friend.
Okay, bye-bye.
I want to talk to you guys about UFOs because my very good friend Johnny Enoch 2 days ago called me up on the phone, and him and his friend Ben took photographs. This actually happened in Squamish, above Squamish, British Columbia. They seen a UFO levitating above Squamish. Now, not your common circular curved UFO. It's cigar shaped, huge, absolutely huge. They sent me 4 of the pictures of the photographs themselves. They took pictures of the UFOs. So if you guys want to see them, you can always text me, and I'll send the pictures to you, because they're cigar shaped. And actually, and then they asked me, well, what kind of ships are that? I said, those are Palladians. And how I know is because I said, oh, Johnny, both you and Ben were actually taken on the ship. And they said, they were going like, no way. And I said, yeah. Did you guys lose time? Well, what time was it when you guys looked in the sky and seen the extraterrestrials, the ship? I think they said something about 10:15. I said, and what time did you open your eyes when you're looking up at the sky again? They figure around 11 o'clock or so. I said, gee, how come it took you 45 minutes to look at a UFO in the sky? They took you because you were needed. And I said, you're implanted because I told you they're going to come and get you, but you didn't listen to me, which is a good thing. So, because they need Johnny. Johnny's actually an advocate to promote the UFO mega conference. And this is basically what it is, folks. Okay, the UFO mega conference. And it will be held at Laughlin, Nevada in June. You can always go online, look up the word UFO, the Laughlin UFO Mega Conference. I was there last year as a presenter. And so Johnny Enoch will be there presenting again next year. Little bugger or this year again. I'll be doing presenting. But he's also director of one of the directors of the board, and so is Bob Brown and a couple of the guys. But anyways, this is basically what we'll be talking about pretty well there at the UFO conference, right? And yeah. Now let's see. I'm RH negative blood, kind of weirded out about it. Plus, I was born with spina bifida and born breech. Boy, you're born with everything. Not a disrespectful way. We all have something special with ourselves, that how we deal with things in our lives, everyone's born differently, where they're having, again, born spina bifida and born breech. Well, there's a reason for it, right? We're all special. We all have, and yet I always tell people this: anybody's ever has physicalities or more, I guess, say, outreach brain issues, that you can actually make contact with spirit. It's because we've all go through something traumatic, and we chose that at the beginning of this life. Before we're born, we chose that state to take place, right? Okay, breaking news. This says the CDC says fully vaccinated people can climb the mountain if they are in love with the mountain. What? What? I don't think so. Someone sent me that to me. Oh boy, that's funny. Let's see what else is there. Got my special pad here, telling this, update my stories, what's going on. Oh, yes. Malawi, African country, to publicly burn thousands of C-19 vaccine doses. Yes, they did. They burned them all. This is the only country so far that's done that. This is Africa, folks, in Malawi. The health authorities in Malawi have incinerated 19,610 expired doses of the AstraZeneca, right? The vax, saying it will reassure the public that that any vaccines they do not. Yeah, they're basically saying that they're just basically let people know that they've been destroyed. So yeah, it's coming out there now, folks. Things are being slowly exposed. So I tell people, not everybody has to follow the guidelines and believe people what they say. Like the media is trying to make you convinced that you need to get it. So basically what Bill Gates wants you to do is he wants at least 65% of the people in the world to get vaxxed. Those 65% will suffer. And he knows that because that's why his goal is to depopulate the world. Well, if he can't get to the adult, he's going to try and go for the kids. And that's exactly what Bill Gates did. He paid Bonnie Henry to say 12 to 17 years of age to do this. Ain't going to happen, folks. Not a good idea, right? This is her column. And she said this too, through a radio station. This is what she is telling everyone, that she has the authority to tell a parent that it's okay. Ain't going to happen, folks. You have no authority, Bonnie Henry. None whatsoever. You're a waste of, man. Go back to your winery. Oh my God. Just drink up your wine. Wouldn't hurt to have a glass myself, but I'm not going to be that stupid. Okay. What else we have here? Oh yes, May the 23rd. May the 23rd, in 3 days, Chris Guy will be in Vancouver, and it's called Just Say No Tour. Chris Guy will be returning to Vancouver Sunday, May 23rd, between 3 and 9 p.m. 3 and 9 p.m. And he will be at the Sunset Beach, 1204 Beach Avenue, Vancouver. So if you're in the Vancouver region, that's where Chris Guy will be, May 23rd. Like I said before, the government and the police are trying their darndest to get him off and out of the way, because they can't. They're trying to silence Chris Guy. They're trying to silence Kevin J. Johnson. They're trying to silence so many other people out there. And sure, it's me as well. Like you know what I kind of think is cool, and I'm not sure if it's just for me alone, but it makes me feel comfortable. We have a military helicopter flying above my place a lot, right? And it hovers the area where I am, and just above me. And I'm going, you can tell that it's a military helicopter because there's a different sound to it. Common helicopter, military. As I'm looking up and hear this really, really heavy sound, they're going like, oh, cool. I guess they're keeping an eye on me or other people. Probably, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm so thankful at whatever I'm able to do and others to share what's going on in the world. That's what our job is, right? That's how we do it. So, okay. Catherine, oh wow, mine too changed. Okay, where is it? Ours eyes changed color. Yeah. I'm not just A negative. I also have what you call it the alien blood, so to speak. So mine's a little bit different than most average people. So that's what I was told. My wife's got it too, apparently. Yeah, A negatives are known to have that. Yeah. Yeah, it could be related. Maybe you guys are related. Yeah, there you go. Okay. What else is there going to talk about before I forget? Now, if anybody else wants to get a reading, I actually on my website, you can go to whiteskycloud.com if you want to find more things about me, folks. Or if you want to, even anybody wants to get a reading. Now, the thing is that if you're from out of town and knowing that you can't get to my place, I also do Skype readings. So there's no problem there. And as well, but yeah. Area code 803. Hello.
Area code 803.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Can you turn your
Turn it
feed?
down.
Yeah, please turn it down.
Now, hello. I'm here.
You're skipping up and down like I can hear the echo, 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 echo.
I forgot to turn the volume down on my other cell phone. Got a quick question for you.
Who am I speaking to?
Dolores,
Hi, Dolores.
how are you?
I'm good. How's life with you, my dear?
Truthfully, I can't say on the cell phone.
Well,
But
let's say we're
got
living.
a question. Got a question for you. My
Yes.
brother is sick. He keeps telling me they don't know what it is. They're pumping 2 hours of iron in him once a week, and he's in stage 3 of kidney failure.
Okay.
I don't think he's telling me what's wrong with him.
No, I don't think he's telling you the truth of everything. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't feel like he's telling you everything. I don't think he really wants to make you worry. I don't think he wants you to worry about that. Yeah, he doesn't want you to know exactly what is wrong with him. Yeah.
Can they tell? Can the spirits tell you? I think it's cancer.
Well, you know what? Some people can say it's cancer, but that can be fixed. Like if he's like they said, they already put in 2 liters of iron in him, so to speak. That means that he's got what you call like a bone cancer, a blood cancer.
Yeah, 2 hours once a week.
Yeah, so that's iron. And he can also, if he wants to, is eat red meat, which is steak. If he eats red meat, you're putting iron in your system as well. But when he gets to the point where he doesn't want to eat and they're putting it through his arm, is not giving him enough energy. He needs to basically physically, become a meat eater. So that's what having to eat like roast beef, steak, that sort of thing, anything with red meat or wild meat with red meat is that's stronger iron than your common iron that you are putting in your arm.
Yeah, I've told him he a lot of liver. His liver's high in iron.
Yeah, so basically, most likely what he may have is called blood cancer. I could be wrong, but I got a funny feeling that's exactly what it could possibly be. But again,
the big question is do I need to? Well, I'm in South Carolina. He's in Wisconsin. Do I need to book you on up there?
I would say yes. Go see him. Yes.
How much time I got?
You got enough time, but you need to go see him just to give him heck.
I'll beat his ass. Wrong word.
Yeah. So it's funny because basically my YouTube says your connection is unstable. Please wait while we're reconnecting. Anytime I talk about health, they start to unstable my connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be making an appointment with you soon anyway.
Okay. Yeah, because what I tell people is there was a situation earlier with YouTube. YouTube gave me a strike, and I thought they were like first of all I thought they eliminated me out completely because I couldn't get in. Because I was already started earlier this evening, and then like, how come I can't get in here? Like all of a sudden, like there's no sound. They let me in, but they muted me.
I forgot to before I called you. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That it was on health.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
But I guess I need to make arrangements to go see him while he's still here.
Yes, ma'am. Get her done. Hurts like hell.
All right.
Get her done.
I'll let someone else call in.
Okay. You have a wonderful night.
You too.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What I can do, hang on a second, for her Let's see what the results are. Okay, how's her brother going to do? Is he going to make it through? Says that he's going to make it through, but again, he's got to be vigilant about wanting to stay. It's like yeah, he's taking his time. Now, is he not telling her everything? Yeah, see, Dolores, your brother hasn't told you everything, why and how he got sick. He didn't give you the full detail. It shows me here that he's delaying. I don't think it's the idea of him making you worry. I think he's delaying because he thinks it's not important, or he thinks that he can get over it without nobody actually having to make a big deal about it. So I think he's trying to be the man, so to speak, tough. Yeah, and being 78 years old, that's still young yet. Like I tell people, if those med beds were here right now, I'd make sure that he's on those med beds now, and he would have been cured already. Done. He would have been fine. So I'm just waiting for those days where the med beds do get here. But the thing is, like I said before, I think if you get him to start eating lots of red meat, and then he'll be fine on that part. He'll start because he has to create energy. He needs to build up the energy. When you put something in your arm, doesn't always give you immediate. I mean, it will gives you some iron. But I mean, what I'm saying is that you got to earn the energy in. You get it to flow in through the rest of your bloodstream, your jaw, your brain. All that. So he's got to really work it in. That's what I would say. Right. Keith is always a kid. He's never grown up. Yeah. Keith, he'll never grow up. You don't want to. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if I can actually show you guys the picture of how it works. Let's see. No, it's not gonna do it. Okay. Why do you keep on doing that? Oh, it keeps on wanting to send me messages. Okay, here. This is what the UFO looks like. Okay, that's one of them. If you guys can see that, that's what it looks like. That's one. That was taken in the sky at nighttime. And that's what it looked like in the clouds. There was a storm. Oh, where are we? How come I can't see that? There, this little slight angle. There, it's like that. It's hard to see. There was a storm. Oh, I know what's causing this. Let's try that. Sort of. Okay. There was a storm in the sky. It's all clouded. And that's exactly... Oh, my God. There. There, right about there. I mean, when you look at it closer, you can go on the site on my Facebook, and I can't do Facebook for a couple more weeks yet. They gave me the royal boot for 30 days. But you can do is go on to a page on Facebook. It's called, well, I sent to my friend Marty's page, but it's, let's see, where would we go? I think I did. Let's have a look. I think I put it on the Aboriginal Women's page too. It's called the Aboriginal Women's Alliance. I possibly may have put it in there already. Let's see if I did. Done. You can also find me on... okay, there it is, yeah. Okay. let's see here. Let's do that. Yeah, here we go. This is what I look like in Telegram. Starts up as I got my rabbit head, my finger pointing up, going down the rabbit hole. But I'm on Telegram. Okay, you find that and make me a friend on Telegram at Derrick Whiteskycloud, at Derrick Whiteskycloud, and you'll find me in there. And if you want to make a friend, and go get on Telegram, folks, it's worth your while. Be on Telegram. Because I'll send you pages of things that are happening in communities all over. There is... No, it's not there. But again, like I said before, folks, if you're interested in wanting to see those photographs of the UFO that was in the sky, I'm more than willing to send it. You can always text me on my Facebook and I'll send them to you. No problem. And let's see here. That one's done. That one's done. That one's done. That one's done. I get a kick out of this. Vanity Fair says Trump, who thinks he's still president, is bringing back his rallies next month. Get ready for unhinged attacks on Biden Democrats and the toilets. He claims you have to flush 15 minutes. 15 times, should say. See what happens? You know who Vanity Fair is, folks? Deep State. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, like I said before, these things do happen in words. People like that. Now, also, I'm also trying to find other locations too. I'm trying to create. We all are. The thing is, I can't stay with Facebook forever because I know FB is going to go down anyways. They're going to knock it out completely. So I always warn people too. If by some chance if you're gonna, when Facebook does be taken out, I would recommend you too. If you have any pictures, that sort of thing that you always wanted to keep for yourself, if you haven't collected them, I recommend to go through all of your pages and anything you need to collect and save it for your computer, because basically once those gone, once Facebook goes down, that's it, right? If it does go down, I don't know why they want to take it down. I mean, let's put it this way: whatever's happening between the company and whatever, like there's so many things that are coming that are allegedly going to be, I've been warned, told they're going to be taken down. So I would say for everyone to do is to gather all your stuff as much as you remember, and if there's anything in there that you have, family pictures of family, whatever have you, that you don't have, that's not on your phone or in your computer, I recommend to collect all that and save it in your computer, because if by some chance it does go down, you won't have to worry about, oh my God, the pictures are gone. What am I going to do, right? And it may happen. Seriously, it may happen. So I'm taking caution because people say to me, Derrick, it's going to happen, so watch your back, right? Anyways. So, folks, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you guys for joining me on Facebook, on YouTube. Talk about it so much. And I really appreciate you being in the chat room. Like I said, I came in late, 1 hour earlier or later because, again, troubles. But I'm trying to dedicate myself to do as much as I possibly can as long as YouTube's still running. Right? So I'll talk to you guys next Thursday at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern, and wherever it is across the world. Have a great night, guys. All the best to you. Be good to each other.
When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Make peace, alright. Isn't it time to stop dying? Isn't it time, Mother stop the fighting. Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. We want hurts, we want needs, we all feel, but all we gotta learn to live together. Peace, in peace, in peace.